Hello, dear listeners. I'm Your Name, a health consultant with many years of experience working alongside adults of all ages, from active young individuals to those of you enjoying your golden years. I deeply understand that each one of us is doing our very best to maintain a healthy lifestyle full of energy and joy. I know you might be doing everything right, choosing nutritious foods, staying physically active, and sticking to a regular exercise routine that suits your age. That's truly a wonderful achievement, and it's precisely the spirit we want to nurture as we get older, the spirit of staying committed to your health and independence. However, what if I told you that some common, seemingly harmless workouts, even those considered good for you, could quietly increase your risk of stroke? Yes, that might sound a little scary, and it could be shocking to many of us. Because even popular exercises you see at the gym and online classes, or even just simple everyday movements, like sit-ups, planks, or gentle yoga poses, all can turn dangerous if you're over 60 and not careful, not truly understanding your own body. This is not a call for you to stop moving. On the contrary, movement is not just important, it's absolutely vital, truly essential for a healthy and long life. Movement helps maintain muscle strength, joint flexibility, heart health, and a clear mind. It is the key to preserving the independence and quality of life you desire. The question here isn't, should we move or not, but rather, how can we move smarter and safer? It's all about knowing exactly which movements to watch out for. As we age, our bodies respond differently to what they once did in our 20s or 30s. Our cardiovascular system doesn't operate with the same flexibility. Blood pressure can shift more quickly and be harder to regulate. Our ability to keep our balance isn't as reliable as it used to be. And most alarmingly, some specific movements can put a surprising amount of strain on your brain, your delicate blood vessels, or your heart, more than you might ever realize. A quick bend, a wrong twist, or even holding your breath during a workout. These seemingly innocent actions can trigger sudden dizziness, quick drops in blood pressure, or worse, lead to a stroke. A life-changing event that can happen in an instant. Throughout my career as a health consultant, I've seen too many heartbreaking cases, older adults full of enthusiasm for staying healthy and active, who unfortunately fell victim to preventable accidents. They had the best intentions, they truly wanted to live healthier lives, but they lacked crucial information, specific knowledge that sometimes only those with deep professional experience can recognize and share. That's precisely why today I want to walk you through more than 9 specific exercises that may seem harmless, even beneficial, but could actually be putting your brain and body at risk. This risk is especially heightened if you have a history of high blood pressure, poor circulation, or other underlying health conditions you might not even be aware of or perhaps haven't considered in relation to your exercise routine. If you're over 60, or if you deeply care about someone in this age group, this video could truly be a lifesaver. It's not just a list of movements to avoid, but a detailed guide to help you move safer, smarter, and most importantly, maintain your precious independence and vibrant quality of life for many years to come. Please let me know in the comments below. Have you ever felt dizzy or lightheaded after a workout? Or have you had any similar experiences that made you wonder if something wasn't quite right? Your shares not only help me better understand the community's concerns, but can also be a valuable source of encouragement and experience for others who might be going through something similar. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on the most important up-to-date information about health, exercise, safety, and proven tips for maintaining your independence during your golden years. We're here to help you move safer, feel stronger, and stay independent for years to come. Now let's start with the first hidden danger, an everyday stretch that seems harmless but could cause sudden drops in blood pressure. Let's begin with something incredibly common in our daily lives, bending forward quickly from a standing position. You know, maybe to pick up a dropped pencil off the floor, or to quickly bend down to tie your shoes when you're in a rush, or even just to reach for something on a lower shelf in the pantry. It seems like no big deal, right? A perfectly natural movement we've all done thousands of times in our lives without thinking twice about it. But for older adults, especially those over 60, this seemingly simple movement can actually lead to a dangerous chain reaction inside the delicate systems of your body. When you bend forward abruptly, especially without bracing your core muscles or bending your knees for support, blood rushes to your head very suddenly, and then as you stand up, it can quickly pool in your lower body. In younger, healthier people, the body adjusts quite quickly and efficiently. Our automatic nervous system has a strong reflex often called the baroreflex, which acts as an internal control system, much like a thermostat. This reflex helps adjust your heart rate and the tightness of your blood vessels to maintain stable blood pressure even when you change your body's position. However, as we age, this baroreflex isn't as sensitive or quick to respond as it once was. Our blood vessels, especially the veins in our legs, may not constrict as effectively to push blood back up to the heart. This means that a significant amount of blood can get stuck or pool in the lower part of your body, rather than returning to your brain and upper body quickly. This sudden and dramatic change in how blood is distributed in your body can cause a rapid drop in blood pressure, a condition doctors call orthostatic hypotension. This state can temporarily reduce the amount of oxygen-rich blood reaching your brain, leading to a range of dangerous symptoms. What's the immediate result? You'll likely feel dizzy, lightheaded, or completely lose your balance. Some people might even experience a complete blackout, losing consciousness entirely for a brief moment. And if you fall and hit your head on the way down, the danger immediately becomes much greater. A concussion, a laceration, a deep cut on your head, or even a broken hip. These types of injuries can lead to a cascade of serious health complications, including an increased risk of stroke due to the trauma itself, or because your body struggles significantly to recover from the injury. This is especially true if you have any pre-existing heart conditions, or if you've been told you have narrowed blood vessels in your brain. In such cases, this sudden drop in blood flow could be enough to trigger a mini-stroke, also known as a TIA, or even a full debilitating stroke. A comprehensive study published in a prominent medical journal for older adults clearly indicated that seniors are significantly more prone to these sudden blood pressure drops after rapid positional changes. This isn't just a minor inconvenience that you can brush off. It's a well-known, documented risk factor for stroke and serious head injury. I remember once speaking with a gentleman named Arthur, a retired school teacher who was always very proud of his agility and how active he remained. One day, while tidying up his garage, he quickly bent down to reach for a box that was close to the floor. He had done that exact movement thousands of times in his life, without a second thought. But this time, as he quickly stood back up, a sudden, overwhelming wave of dizziness hit him. He stumbled, completely lost his balance, and fell hard, hitting his head directly on the concrete floor. He ended up in the hospital with a severe concussion and had to undergo a long and challenging period of rehabilitation, relearning basic movements and regaining his strength. All of this happened just from what seemed like an ordinary everyday movement. Arthur's story is a stark and important reminder that what our bodies can handle at age 30 is vastly different from what they can handle at age 70. Age truly brings valuable life experience and wisdom, but it also demands a newfound respect for our body's changing capabilities and its new limits. So what can you do to avoid this hidden danger? When you need to bend forward, always take a thoughtful second to pause and think about how you'll move. Plant your feet firmly on the floor, bend your knees slightly, and lower yourself slowly and with control. Imagine you are sitting down into an invisible chair, keeping your back straight and primarily using the strength of your leg muscles to support your movement. If you need it, don't hesitate to use a stable surface for support, like a sturdy table, a firm chair, or a nearby wall. There is absolutely no shame in needing or using support. Your safety is paramount above all else. Make this a conscious habit rather than a rushed, unthinking reflex. Perform every movement slowly, deliberately, and with careful control, always staying aware of your body's position in space. Now let's gently transition from the floor to something just a bit higher up your neck. Because what you do with it might surprise you even more and potentially put you at risk. Have you ever tried to loosen up a stiff neck by giving it a quick twist or turning it side to side rapidly? It might feel good in the moment, like you're shaking off tension or a crick in your neck, but it can be much, much more dangerous than you think, especially as you get older. This is not an exercise that is generally recommended for older adults, and I'm going to explain exactly why. You see, deep inside your neck run two extremely important arteries called the vertebral arteries. These arteries are a critical part of the brain's posterior circulation system, meaning they supply oxygen-rich blood directly to the back parts of your brain. These are the areas that specifically control vital functions like balance, coordination, and other crucial processes, such as breathing and heart rate. These delicate arteries actually pass through small protective openings within your neck bones, which are called vertebrae. When you whip your neck around too quickly, or perform these neck-twisting movements repeatedly in a strong or overly exaggerated way, you can actually compress these arteries. Imagine a garden hose being squeezed, or even cause a tiny imperceptible tear, known as a dissection, in their delicate walls. This isn't just uncomfortable or a slight strain. It can severely reduce the flow of oxygen-rich blood that's supposed to reach your brain. If that vital blood flow is diminished even for a moment, it can have serious consequences. As we age, the walls of our blood vessels can naturally become less elastic and more vulnerable to damage. Also, the narrowing of arteries due to plaque buildup, a condition called atherosclerosis, is more common in older adults. This makes these already more fragile vessels even more susceptible to blockages or damage when they are twisted or compressed. A small tear in the artery wall can lead to the formation of a tiny blood clot, and this clot can then travel up to the brain and block a blood vessel, causing a stroke. This specific type of stroke is known as an arterial dissection stroke, and it's a particularly dangerous form of stroke that is sometimes difficult to diagnose immediately because its symptoms can be subtle at first. The risk here isn't just theoretical. It's something that medical professionals have observed. Neurologists have documented cases where seniors experienced sudden vision disturbances, severe headaches, and even mini-strokes, transient ischemic attacks, TIA, after attempting inverted yoga poses or performing rapid neck movements without proper supervision. A TIA is often a critical warning sign of an impending full stroke and should never ever be ignored. I vividly remember a woman named Mary from one of my yoga classes who used to proudly practice shoulder stands and rapid neck rolls every morning as part of her routine. But after a few weeks, she started getting pounding headaches that felt like pressure behind her eyes and occasional dizzy spells. Her doctor specifically warned her the increased pressure inside her skull and the strain on her neck arteries from those vigorous movements were putting her at real risk of a serious event. She wisely switched to much gentler, slower head turns and stretches, and all those concerning symptoms disappeared completely. Mary avoided a major health event just by changing a small habit. Her story is powerful proof that simply being aware and making small adjustments to your routine can truly be life-saving. So here's the better way to take care of your neck. Always move your head slowly and deliberately. Absolutely no jerking, no snapping motions, and no sudden forceful twists. When stretching your neck, think about gently lengthening your neck muscles rather than snapping your joints into position. If your neck feels stiff, you can try applying warm compresses to the area or performing very gentle stretches within a pain-free range of motion. Even better, consult with a qualified physical therapist who has experience working with older adults and understands the vascular risks associated with aging. They can guide you through safe and effective exercises to maintain neck flexibility and strength without putting your delicate neck vessels at risk. Ready to hear about something many people think is making them stronger, but could be straining their brain instead? Let's talk about lifting weights. Weightlifting can be a fantastic way to stay strong. Maintain muscle mass and preserve your independence as we age, but only if it's done safely and intelligently. One of the most overlooked and dangerous practices is lifting weights that are too heavy for your current strength level, or worse, holding your breath while exerting yourself. When you lift something heavy and instinctively hold your breath, you are performing what is medically known as the Valsalva maneuver. This action actually causes a sudden and significant spike in pressure inside your chest and head. Here's a quick explanation of how it works. When you close your windpipe, the epiglottis, and attempt to exhale forcefully, similar to the sensation of straining during a bowel movement, the pressure inside your abdomen and chest skyrockets. This immense pressure temporarily reduces the flow of blood back to your heart. Immediately after you exhale and this pressure is released, your body has a strong, rapid compensatory reaction, causing your blood pressure to shoot up dramatically and quickly. For older adults, especially those who already have high blood pressure or whose blood vessels are naturally weaker due to age, which is a common occurrence as we grow older, that sudden intense spike in blood pressure can be enough to trigger a stroke or even cause a fragile blood vessel to rupture. This is particularly concerning for individuals with pre-existing plaque buildup in their arteries, atherosclerosis, or hidden weak spots in the brain's blood vessels such as aneurysms. In these cases, this sudden extreme pressure could be the breaking point. The act of holding your breath increases pressure inside your skull and temporarily reduces blood flow to your brain. Then when you release your breath, there's a surge of pressure that puts extreme stress on the walls of your blood vessels. In fact, a significant study from the American Heart Association clearly showed that sudden surges in blood pressure during heavy lifting were directly linked to an increased risk of bleeding inside the brain, especially in older gym-goers. This isn't just a theoretical problem discussed in textbooks. It's a serious and well-documented clinical concern that has affected many individuals. I once heard a story from a retired firefighter named Frank, who was very committed to staying active at his local gym. One day, he decided to challenge himself by attempting to lift a heavier barbell than usual. Mid-lift, he felt a sudden, intense rush to his head, became incredibly dizzy, and nearly blacked out right there. His doctor later informed him that he had dangerously spiked his blood pressure by holding his breath during the intense strain of the lift. Frank was incredibly lucky that day and avoided a major incident, but many others are not so fortunate. So what exactly should you do to lift weights safely? First and foremost, lift weights that feel challenging but remain manageable. You should be able to complete your repetitions with good form without struggling excessively or needing to hold your breath. Most importantly, breathe continuously. This is the golden rule for safe weightlifting. Remember this simple mantra. Exhale as you lift, that is on the effort part of the exercise. Inhale as you lower on the release or recovery part. Always maintain a steady, controlled breathing rhythm. Never ever hold your breath when you are exerting yourself or straining. And if you're ever unsure about proper technique or appropriate weight, always work with a certified personal trainer who has specific experience and understanding of how aging bodies respond differently to exercise. They can help you design a safe and effective strength training program, recommending exercises like chest presses, cable rows, or exercises with resistance bands, all of which can be performed with appropriate weight or resistance, and crucially with correct breathing technique. Building strength is undeniably important for maintaining independence and quality of life, but prioritizing your safety is even more critical. Now, if you've ever tried those upside-down yoga poses for better circulation, the next part might surprise you even more. Upside-down yoga poses, such as the shoulder stand or headstand, might look incredibly graceful, calming, and even relaxing to some, but they can be seriously risky, especially for older adults. These poses completely flip your entire body, sending a rush of blood toward your head very suddenly and with significant force. While some proponents claim these poses boost circulation and offer various health benefits, the truth is they can dangerously increase the pressure inside your skull. When you're in an inverted position, the blood flow to your brain intensifies. For younger, healthy individuals, the brain's natural self-regulation mechanisms can usually handle this change without issue. This is your brain's amazing ability to maintain a stable blood flow to itself, regardless of changes in your overall body blood pressure. However, if you already have high blood pressure, weaker or more fragile blood vessels, or specific eye conditions like glaucoma, all of which are much more common after age 60, that extra pressure can overwhelm your system. It can put undue stress on delicate brain blood vessels, and even significantly increase the risk of retinal damage or damage to the optic nerve in those who already have risk factors for eye conditions. Prolonged or frequent increased pressure inside the skull can cause brain blood vessels to stretch, making them more prone to rupture or leading to various neurological symptoms. The risk here isn't just theoretical, it's well documented in medical literature. Neurologists have reported cases where older adults experienced sudden vision disturbances, severe headaches, and even mini-strokes, transient ischemic attacks, TIA, after attempting inverted poses without proper supervision or understanding of their body's limitations. A TIA is a critical warning sign that a full stroke might be imminent and should never ever be ignored. I distinctly remember a woman named Sarah from one of my yoga classes who proudly practiced shoulder stands every morning as part of her dedicated routine. But after a few weeks, she started getting intense pounding headaches that felt like pressure behind her eyes and occasional bouts of dizziness. Her doctor, upon reviewing her case, specifically warned her that the increased pressure inside her skull and the strain on her neck and brain blood vessels from those vigorous inverted poses were putting her at a very real risk of a serious health event. She wisely switched to much gentler modified stretches and avoided inverted poses altogether, and all those concerning symptoms disappeared completely. Mary's story is a powerful reminder that even practices generally seen as healthy need to be adapted carefully for the aging body. Instead of poses that flip you upside down, a wonderful and safe alternative is to try legs up the wall. This is a calming and restorative pose that supports circulation without any of the dangerous reverse pressure on your head. You simply lie on your back, then gently prop your legs up against a wall so your body forms an L shape. Holding this pose for 5 to 10 minutes, focusing on deep, slow breaths, can offer significant relaxation and improve blood flow back to your heart from your legs. Always, and I mean always, let your yoga instructor or fitness professional know about any medical conditions you have before starting a new routine. They are trained to suggest modifications that work with your body, not against it, ensuring your safety and maximizing the benefits of your practice. Now that we've looked at the risks of going upside down, let's take a jog forward. Literally. Because when you exercise matters just as much as how you do it. Evening workouts can often feel quite peaceful and appealing. The gym is usually quieter, the air is cooler, and it can feel like a great way to shake off the day's accumulated stress and unwind. But for older adults, pushing yourself too hard late at night, especially with intense routines like high-speed running, vigorous cardio, or high-intensity interval training, HIIT can unfortunately backfire in serious ways. Here's a deeper look at why this happens. Intense exercise significantly stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, which is essentially like flipping your body's on switch, preparing it for action or stress. That heightened state is perfectly fine during the day when you need energy and alertness. However, doing it too close to bedtime means your heart rate stays elevated, your blood pressure spikes, and your body remains in a state of heightened alertness and readiness precisely when it should be gently winding down and preparing for restful sleep. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for your body's well-known fight-or-flight response. When activated, it releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones, while useful for short bursts of activity, increase your heart rate, constrict your blood vessels, making them narrower, and elevate your blood pressure. Meanwhile, your parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the calming, rest and digest functions, helping your body relax and recover. When you engage in overstrenuous exercise in the late evening, you keep your sympathetic system in overdrive. This disrupts the natural and crucial shift to a relaxed state that is absolutely necessary for healthy restorative sleep. For people over 60, this late-night physiological pressure can significantly increase the risk of nighttime hypertension, which is high blood pressure specifically occurring during sleep. This is a known and serious factor in increasing the risk of stroke while you are sleeping. High blood pressure at night is particularly dangerous because it happens while you are unaware and can cause silent long-term damage to your blood vessels. A study from a leading research journal on blood pressure found that late-evening high-intensity workouts can significantly raise nighttime blood pressure levels even in otherwise healthy adults. This is especially concerning because many individuals are not even diagnosed with nighttime hypertension, as blood pressure is typically measured during the day. That's why doctors and health experts now often recommend that older individuals schedule their more intense workouts for the morning or early afternoon, allowing ample time for the body to wind down before bed. I spoke with a retired teacher named Brenda, who for years used to run every night after dinner, thinking it was the best way to fit exercise into her busy schedule. Over time, she noticed she wasn't sleeping well at all, waking up frequently and feeling unrested. And on one particularly alarming occasion, she even woke up suddenly feeling dizzy with a racing heart. Her cardiologist, after reviewing her habits, strongly suggested switching her exercise routine to earlier in the day. Brenda followed this advice, and the change made a world of difference not only to her sleep, but to her overall well-being. She not only slept better and more deeply, but also felt more alert and energized during her waking hours. If you genuinely enjoy nighttime movement and find it helps you relax, that's perfectly fine, but opt for gentle activities. Choose gentle stretching, slow and leisurely walks, or calming yoga sessions that emphasize relaxation rather than exertion. Save the cardio and high-intensity workouts for the daylight hours when your body's natural rhythms are better equipped to handle them and when you have ample time to recover before sleep. Create a relaxing bedtime routine for yourself. Avoid blue light from screens, phones, tablets, computers for at least an hour before bed. Read a good book or listen to calming music. Remember, quality sleep is just as fundamentally important as exercise for maintaining your heart and brain health as you age. Next up, let's focus on something small but incredibly powerful: your core. And no, it's not about getting a six-pack, but about stability and protection. Crunches and sit-ups. These are classic core exercises that many of us have done for decades, perhaps since high school gym class. They might seem like a straightforward and effective way to strengthen your midsection. But for older adults, performing them too quickly with incorrect form, or too often, can actually cause more harm than good beyond just muscle strain. When you perform rapid abdominal movements, especially without proper and controlled breathing, it creates a sudden and significant spike in pressure inside your chest and abdomen. This sudden pressure can interfere with normal blood flow, particularly the flow of blood to and from your brain. It's a bit like squeezing a garden hose very tightly. The flow of water gets restricted, and that momentary pressure can affect your circulation in surprising and potentially dangerous ways. This increased pressure can temporarily reduce the blood flow returning from your head and neck to your heart through major veins. This can in turn temporarily increase pressure within the brain's blood vessels and reduce the amount of oxygen-rich blood reaching delicate brain tissue. That temporary drop in oxygen to the brain can leave you feeling dizzy, disoriented, or even faint. For those with a history of stroke or at elevated risk, this could even trigger a stroke. Additionally, traditional crunches and sit-ups, especially if done by pulling your head forward with your hands, can put excessive and unhealthy strain on your spine and neck. Over time, this poor form can lead to chronic neck pain, herniated discs when the soft cushion between your vertebrae bulges out, or other degenerative spinal issues. These conditions can significantly reduce your mobility and overall quality of life, making even simple daily tasks uncomfortable or difficult. A gentleman I met at a local wellness class named David shared how he consistently felt lightheaded and nauseous every time he included sit-ups in his morning routine. His doctor explained that the extreme pressure from his quick, forceful crunches was disrupting the vital blood flow to his head. Once he wisely swapped out sit-ups for slower, more controlled core movements that emphasized proper breathing, he hasn't had a dizzy spell since, and his core strength actually improved. So what's the safer and more effective option for strengthening your core as you age? Try controlled core exercises that focus on stability and proper engagement, such as pelvic tilts, gently tilting your pelvis forward and back while lying on your back, seated marches, marching in place while seated, lifting alternate knees, dead bugs lying on your back, slowly extending opposite arm and leg while keeping your core stable, or bird dogs on hands and knees, slowly extending opposite arm and leg, keeping your back straight. These exercises help strengthen your core muscles effectively without putting unnecessary or dangerous pressure on your neck or spine. Crucially, focus on steady, deliberate breathing throughout these exercises. Remember, exhale with effort when you engage your core and inhale on release when you return to the starting position. And never ever rush the motion. The goal is to build core strength, steadily and safely supporting your spine, improving your posture, and enhancing your overall balance, all without putting unnecessary pressure on your circulatory system. Core strength is undeniably important for maintaining balance and preventing falls as you age, but it must be developed and maintained in a smart and safe manner. Now that we've grounded ourselves with core safety, let's step onto the treadmill. But a word of caution before you press that speed button. Using a treadmill seems like a safe, convenient, and weatherproof way to stay fit no matter the weather outside. It's a common fixture in gyms and homes. But for seniors, there's one very common mistake that can instantly turn this beneficial tool into a serious hazard: running or walking too fast without consistently holding on to the side rails. As we get older, our reaction time naturally slows down, and our coordination isn't quite what it used to be. Moving at a fast pace on a treadmill without any support significantly increases your risk of stumbling or tripping, sometimes with truly devastating results. A single misstep can send you flying off the back of the machine, leading to extremely painful injuries like fractures, especially hip fractures, which can have long recovery times, severe head injuries, or in high-risk individuals, even triggering significant cardiovascular strain or a stroke due to the sudden shock. The abrupt impact of a fall can cause a rush of adrenaline and an immediate sharp spike in blood pressure, which can be exceptionally dangerous for those with pre-existing heart conditions or delicate brain blood vessels. Health agencies, including data gathered from the National Institutes of Health (NIH), have clearly highlighted that seniors suffer a higher rate of treadmill accidents than any other age group. And one of the major contributing factors to these accidents, the failure to use the handrails consistently. In fact, Even brief moments of unsteady or wobbly movement while walking or running on a treadmill can sharply raise the strain on your heart, especially in adults over 60. I recall a man in his 70s named George who was a very active gym goer and insisted on power walking hands-free every morning on the treadmill. One day, a seemingly minor slip on the moving belt turned into a major accident. He lost his footing, hit the deck hard, and ended up leaving the gym with a serious head injury and a bruised ego. His physician later told him that simply gripping the rails even occasionally for support would very likely have kept him safely on his feet. So what's the smarter and safer approach when using a treadmill? Keep your pace steady and controlled, not fast or frantic. And if you feel the slightest hint of imbalance or instability, even for a second, immediately grab the rails for support. Most modern treadmills also come equipped with a small safety clip that you can attach to your clothing. If you happen to slip or fall, the machine will automatically stop, preventing further injury. Make it a habit to always use this safety clip. Want an effective alternative that's even safer and reduces fall risk? Walk at an incline. You'll still get an excellent cardiovascular workout and burn calories, but without the increased risk of a dangerous fall that comes with faster speeds on a moving belt. A treadmill is a truly great tool for staying active, but it must be used intelligently and with a clear awareness of your body's changing limits as you age. Always prioritize your safety over speed or trying to impress anyone. Coming up next, we're shifting gears a bit. This time it's not speed that's the problem, it's stillness. Let's talk about the plank. The plank exercise is widely praised as one of the best full-body strengthening exercises. It effectively builds core strength, improves posture, and best of all, doesn't require any special equipment. You can do it anywhere. However, holding a plank for too long, especially if you unconsciously hold your breath while doing it, can quietly place dangerous and unnecessary pressure on your cardiovascular system. When you're in a plank position, your entire body is engaged, and your muscles are working incredibly hard to stabilize your whole body in a rigid, static hold. That intense effort significantly increases the pressure inside your belly and chest, what doctors call intra-abdominal and intrathoracic pressure. If you're also holding your breath, which many people do without even realizing it during intense holds, you effectively cut off a steady flow of oxygen and at the very same time significantly raise your blood pressure. It's like trying to push fluid through a pipe where a valve has been suddenly tightened. Your heart has to work much harder to push against that increased resistance. The large isometric pressure created by holding a plank can also put unnecessary strain on tiny blood vessels, particularly those in your eyes. While it's rare, this increased pressure could potentially lead to vision issues, or even worsen underlying eye conditions like glaucoma if you're predisposed. Furthermore, the act of holding your breath combined with strong muscle tension can trigger the Valsalva maneuver, causing those dangerous and rapid blood pressure fluctuations we discussed earlier, putting your blood vessels at risk. The Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research published findings showing that breath holding during isometric exercises like planks caused significant and sudden spikes in systolic blood pressure, even in fit older adults. Over time, or even during a single excessively long hold, this continuous strain can stress your heart and temporarily reduce vital blood flow to the brain. I remember a neighbor named Carol, who was very dedicated and loved, challenging herself with exceptionally long plank holds, often timing herself and aiming for 2 minutes or more. But she started experiencing concerning symptoms like chest tightness and headaches after each session, which made her very worried. Once she started taking slower, more deliberate breaths throughout her planks and wisely cutting her holding time in half, those alarming symptoms stopped completely, and she still built great core strength. So if you enjoy planks and want to continue doing them, that's great, but it's important to modify them for safety as you age. Aim for shorter durations with proper, consistent breathing. Try holding for 20-30 seconds, focusing on deep, steady inhales and exhales throughout the entire hold. If 20-30 seconds is still too challenging or causes strain, start with even shorter intervals like 10-15 seconds and gradually build up. You can also make planks safer by performing them on your knees instead of your toes to reduce the overall body weight and intensity, or even by doing a standing plank against a wall, which still engages the core effectively, but with much less pressure. And always listen to your body. If you feel any discomfort, pain, dizziness, or chest tightness, stop immediately. Building core strength is incredibly important for stability and preventing falls. but your safety is even more so. Now we'll shift gears a bit and stand back up, because the next movement involves something you probably do every day without thinking twice. Standing up and sitting down. It sounds simple enough, doesn't it? It's something we all do dozens of times a day without conscious thought, whether getting out of bed, standing up from a chair, or getting in and out of a car. But performing this action too quickly, especially in rapid succession, or as part of a repetitive exercise, like fast-paced squats, can catch your body off guard and lead to a sudden and dangerous drop in blood pressure. This common phenomenon is medically known as postural hypotension or orthostatic hypotension, and it's particularly prevalent and risky in older adults. When you change positions quickly, for example, from sitting to standing, your blood needs a moment to adjust to the sudden shift in gravity. For younger individuals, the body's cardiovascular system reacts almost instantly to maintain stable blood flow to the brain, preventing any issues. But as we age, that crucial adjustment mechanism naturally slows down and becomes less efficient. Your brain may not receive enough blood fast enough even for a brief moment, which can leave you feeling dizzy, wobbly, or worse, cause you to fall unexpectedly. This isn't about how strong your leg muscles are. It's primarily about how effectively and quickly your cardiovascular system can keep up with rapid changes in body position. Repeated rapid positional changes, such as doing many quick squats in a row, can exacerbate this issue as your system doesn't have enough time to recover and re-regulate blood pressure between each change, leading to cumulative strain. A significant study in a highly respected medical journal found that older adults who frequently changed positions rapidly were significantly more likely to report dizziness and were at a much greater risk for falls, often resulting in head injuries or fractures. I remember a friend of mine named Thomas, a very active individual who always sought to challenge himself. He once added fast-paced, high-repetition squats to his morning routine, thinking it would help him stay agile and quick. But he soon started experiencing frequent dizzy spells that left him feeling unsteady and lightheaded for the rest of the day, making him worried. Once he wisely slowed things down, taking a moment to pause and stabilize himself between each movement, his dizzy spells completely disappeared and he actually felt stronger and more in control. Here's a safer approach for standing up, sitting down, and performing squats. When doing sit-to-stand exercises or squats, rise slowly and deliberately. Take a conscious breath as you begin to stand. Allow your body a moment to adjust and let your blood pressure equalize before moving again or taking another step. If you need it, hold onto a sturdy chair, a countertop, or any stable surface for support. Using support is a smart choice for maintaining your balance and preventing falls. It's a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Practice sit-to-stand exercises as part of your daily routine, but always with attention control and mindfulness. Now that we've explored these 9 hidden dangers and common exercises, let's take a deep breath together and wrap things up with something just as important: understanding your body more deeply as it ages. This isn't about decline, it's about adaptation and optimization. Understanding these natural physiological changes will empower you to make safer and more effective choices in your exercise routine and daily life. First, let's talk about your cardiovascular system. Over time, our arteries undergo a process called arteriosclerosis, often referred to as hardening of the arteries. This means the elastic fibers in your blood vessels, which allow them to stretch and recoil with each heartbeat, are gradually replaced by stiffer, less flexible fibers. This makes your blood vessels less pliable, much like an old stiff rubber hose compared to a new flexible one. As a result, your systolic blood pressure, the top number, tends to increase, and your body's ability to quickly regulate blood pressure, especially with sudden changes in position, significantly diminishes. The blood pressure regulating reflex, which we mentioned earlier, becomes less sensitive. These are specialized pressure-sensing parts located in your carotid arteries in your neck and aortic arch near your heart that send signals to your brain to adjust your heart rate and the tone of your blood vessels. When they don't work as efficiently, your body can't respond quickly enough to sudden pressure changes, leading to the kind of low blood pressure when standing up or other exaggerated responses that can cause dizziness or falls. Additionally, your heart itself might undergo minor structural changes, such as a slight thickening of the left ventricle wall, which can affect its ability to pump blood efficiently. Your heart valves can also become a bit stiffer. All these subtle changes collectively make your cardiovascular system more vulnerable to sudden pressures or demands that arise during certain exercises. Next is your musculoskeletal system. Sarcopenia is the medical term for the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. After age 40, we can begin to lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade, and this rate unfortunately accelerates significantly after age 60. This loss not only reduces your overall strength for daily tasks, like lifting groceries, but also profoundly impacts your ability to maintain balance and recover quickly from a stumble or loss of footing. For example, getting up from a low chair or lifting even moderately heavy objects can become noticeably harder. Alongside muscle loss, bone density also gradually decreases, making your bones more fragile and increasing your risk of fractures from falls, particularly hip fractures, wrist fractures, and spinal fractures, which can severely impact independence. Your joints, with their cushioning cartilage naturally wearing down over time, can become stiffer and more painful, limiting your range of motion and making certain exercises uncomfortable or even unsafe. This demands that we be more flexible and thoughtful in our exercise choices and always listen to our body's pain signals. Incorporating weight-bearing exercises and progressive strength training is crucial to slow this process, but it must be done carefully and with expert guidance. Furthermore, our nervous system undergoes subtle but important changes as we age. Your reaction time can slow, meaning you can't respond as quickly to an unexpected slip or sudden loss of balance. This slight delay in reaction can be the difference between catching yourself and falling. Your balance system, a complex network that includes your inner ear called the vestibular system, your vision, and the sensations from your feet, what we call proprioception, or your body's awareness of where it is in space, can also decline. For example, if you step into a dimly lit room or on an uneven surface, your brain's ability to process that information and rapidly adjust your posture may not be as quick as it once was. This makes exercises requiring quick coordination and rapid reactions more hazardous. A reduction in proprioception can make you unaware that you're standing off balance, significantly increasing your risk of falls. Additionally, nerve conduction speed, how fast signals travel along your nerves, can slightly decrease, which further contributes to slower reaction times and coordination. One of the most complex factors for older adults is the use of multiple medications, a condition medically referred to as polypharmacy. Many common drugs, especially blood pressure medications, for example, diuretics or beta blockers, sedatives for sleep or anxiety, antidepressants, opioid pain relievers, or certain allergy medications, antihistamines, can cause side effects like dizziness, drowsiness, low blood pressure when standing up quickly, or reduced coordination. These side effects, which might seem minor on their own, can dangerously amplify the existing risks from age-related physiological changes, making exercise significantly more dangerous. For example, a medication prescribed to manage high blood pressure might inadvertently increase your risk of low blood pressure when standing up quickly, and then combining that with a strenuous exercise could lead to serious consequences. That's why it's incredibly important to regularly review all the medications you are taking with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them about any potential side effects that might impact your ability to exercise safely, and whether there are any known drug interactions to be aware of. This proactive approach can prevent many unforeseen risks. Finally, many seniors live with underlying health conditions that may not be well controlled or even fully diagnosed. These conditions can significantly impact how your body responds to exercise and its susceptibility to events like stroke. High blood pressure, hypertension. This condition already places increased pressure on your blood vessel walls, making them more susceptible to damage or rupture during sudden pressure spikes, like those caused by the Valsalva maneuver during heavy lifting. Diabetes. This disease can lead to nerve damage known as peripheral neuropathy, which affects sensation in your feet and impairs your balance. It can also damage small blood vessels throughout your body, including those in the brain. Poorly controlled blood sugar levels can lead to long-term vascular complications. Atherosclerosis. This is the buildup of fatty plaque in your arteries, which narrows the blood vessels and reduces vital blood flow. This makes you more vulnerable to ischemia, a lack of oxygen in any organ including the brain when blood flow is further compromised during certain movements. If an artery is already narrowed by plaque, a sudden change in pressure or blood flow could easily cause a complete blockage or cause a piece of plaque to break off and travel to the brain, leading to a stroke. Other conditions like chronic lung disease (COPD) can limit your ability to breathe deeply, increasing strain on your heart during exercise. Kidney disease can affect your fluid balance and blood pressure regulation. Thyroid issues can impact your heart rate and energy levels, affecting your exercise capacity. If you have any of these conditions, or if you have a family history of cardiovascular issues or stroke, it's absolutely crucial to have a thorough and honest discussion with your doctor before beginning any new exercise program. They can help you identify your specific risks and provide the safest and most effective recommendations tailored just for you. We've walked through the risks. Now let's talk solutions. The goal isn't to stop moving or become sedentary. The goal is to move safer, smarter, and more effectively. Here are the core principles to protect you and ensure you can enjoy all the wonderful benefits of movement for many years to come. Most importantly, you must learn to listen to your body and understand its subtle signs and signals. Learn to distinguish clearly between typical muscle soreness after a good workout, which is usually a mild ache often appearing 24-48 hours later and improving gradually over a few days, and a serious warning sign that requires immediate attention. Here are some critical warning signs that demand you stop exercising immediately and seek medical attention. Chest pain. This is a feeling of pressure, tightness, discomfort, or a heavy sensation in your chest, which may spread to your arm, shoulder, neck, jaw, or back. This could be a sign of angina or even a heart attack. Severe shortness of breath. Feeling a sudden and intense breathlessness that is out of proportion to your effort. If you can't speak a full sentence without having to stop and gasp for air, that's a red flag. Sudden dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting. Feeling a sudden loss of balance, a sensation that you're about to pass out or actually losing consciousness entirely. Unexplained nausea or cold sweats, especially if these occur along with chest pain or shortness of breath. Sudden and severe pain in any joint or muscle, especially if it's accompanied by swelling or a noticeable deformity. Sudden weakness or numbness on one side of your body. This might affect your face, arm, or leg. Sudden difficulty speaking or blurred vision. This could manifest as slurred speech, trouble finding the right words, or a partial or complete loss of vision. Or a sudden severe and unfamiliar headache, often described as the worst headache of your life. If you experience any of these symptoms, even if they seem minor at first, stop exercising immediately and seek emergency medical attention. These could be critical signs of a serious event like a heart attack or stroke. Never ever ignore these vital signals from your body. Your life could depend on it. Second, proper hydration is the absolute foundation of healthy circulation. Water is an essential component of your blood and plays a vital role in maintaining stable blood pressure and good circulation throughout your body. When you're dehydrated, your blood volume actually drops, making your heart work much harder to pump blood efficiently and potentially leading to lower blood pressure, especially when you change positions quickly. Make it a habit to drink water regularly throughout the day, particularly before, during, and after any physical activity. Don't wait until you feel thirsty to drink, as thirst is already a sign that you are starting to be dehydrated. A helpful tip is to carry a reusable water bottle with you and set a goal to take small sips frequently throughout the day. Remember that sugary drinks, sodas, or caffeinated beverages do not adequately replace pure water. Natural coconut water or unsweetened electrolyte drinks can also be beneficial to help replenish minerals lost from heavy sweating. Third, incorporating proper warm-up and cool-down routines is crucial for every exercise session, regardless of your age. A proper warm-up thoroughly prepares your body for physical activity. It gradually increases blood flow to your muscles, raises your muscle and joint temperature, and improves your overall flexibility, all of which significantly reduce the risk of injury. A 5 to 10 minute warm-up with light, gentle joint mobility exercises, such as arm circles, wrist rotations, hip circles, and marching in place is absolutely essential. This also helps your heart and lungs adjust gradually to the upcoming exertion, preventing a sudden shock to your system. Cooling down is equally important. It helps your heart rate and blood pressure gradually return to their normal resting levels, preventing blood from pooling in your legs, which can cause dizziness, and reducing the risk of fainting after your workout. A 5 to 10 minute cool down with slow walking and static stretches, holding each stretch gently for 20-30 seconds, will aid muscle recovery and reduce post-exercise soreness. Never stop abruptly after a high-intensity workout. Always allow your body to gradually ease back to a resting state. Fourth, ensure you have the right attire and equipment. Appropriate footwear is critically important for preventing falls. Choose athletic shoes with non-slip soles, excellent support, and a comfortable, snug fit. Avoid wearing high heels, flip-flops, or worn-out, ill-fitting shoes when exercising, as these can easily lead to slips or trips. Your shoes should provide good ankle support and have sufficient cushioning to absorb impact, especially if you're walking or doing any light cardio. Make sure that any exercise equipment you use, such as light weights, resistance bands, or yoga mats, is in good working condition and is used correctly according to instructions. Regularly check your resistance bands for any signs of fraying or tears, and ensure that weights are securely held. If you're exercising at home, ensure your workout space is clear of any clutter, well lit, and has a non-slip surface. Avoid exercising on thick plush carpets that might cause you to trip or lose your footing. Fifth, know when to rest if you're sick. A general rule of thumb to follow is if your symptoms are primarily from the neck up, such as a runny nose, mild sneezing, or a slight sore throat without fever, you can usually engage in light exercise. However, if your symptoms are from the neck down, like chest pain, fever, a severe cough, full body aches, or stomach upset, it's crucial to rest. Exercising when you're sick can further stress your immune and cardiovascular systems, prolonging your recovery and potentially putting you in a dangerous situation. Don't try to push through an illness with exercise. Your health and full recovery are the top priorities. Sixth, cultivate environmental awareness. If you're exercising outdoors, always choose flat, well-maintained, and well-lit paths. Avoid extreme weather conditions, whether it's excessively hot or bitterly cold, as these can put extra strain on your body. Be mindful of uneven surfaces, loose rocks, or tree roots that could cause you to trip. Always walk in areas where you can clearly see the path ahead, and avoid areas with heavy traffic or poor visibility. If you're exercising indoors, ensure you have enough clear space to move freely, good lighting, and no obstacles that could cause a fall. Always double-check that the floor surface is not slippery. Finally, having a buddy system is highly beneficial. Exercising with a friend or as part of a group not only provides wonderful social motivation and makes the activity more enjoyable, but it also acts as an important safety net. In case of an emergency, having someone nearby can make a significant difference in getting timely help. A trusted friend or group member can often recognize warning signs that you might miss in yourself, or can provide immediate support if you happen to slip or fall. Consider joining senior-specific exercise classes, local walking clubs, or community sports activities tailored for older adults. While all this information is incredibly valuable, nothing can truly replace personalized advice from qualified healthcare professionals. Seeking guidance from these experts will help you optimize the safety and effectiveness of your exercise program, specifically for your unique body and health needs. Your doctor, whether a geriatrician, a doctor specializing in the care of older adults, or a general practitioner, is your most important starting point. Always, and I mean always, consult your doctor before beginning any new exercise program. This is especially vital if you are over 60, have a history of heart disease, stroke, or high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, arthritis, or osteoporosis, if you are currently taking any medications, as they might have side effects that impact your exercise or cause drug interactions, if you have ever experienced dizziness, fainting, or falls, or if you have any other health concerns whatsoever. Your doctor can perform a thorough physical examination, assess any underlying conditions you might have, and provide specific recommendations based on your individual health profile. They might order tests, such as an electrocardiogram, EKG, blood tests, or even a cardiac stress test to evaluate your heart's capacity and response to exertion. A geriatrician, with their specialized focus on older adults, will be particularly knowledgeable about age-related changes and how they impact exercise. A physical therapist, PT, is an invaluable resource for safe movement. They are experts in body movement and function and can significantly help you by assessing any muscle imbalances or weaknesses you might have, teaching you proper exercise form and technique, which is absolutely crucial for preventing injury and ensuring the effectiveness of your workouts. Developing a personalized exercise program, specifically tailored to your unique needs, physical abilities, and limitations, and dramatically improving your balance to reduce your risk of falls through specialized targeted exercises such as dynamic and static balance drills. If you are recovering from an injury or surgery, or if you have existing joint or mobility issues, a PT is precisely the professional who can guide you to exercise safely and recover effectively. They can provide specific modifications for exercises recommend and teach you how to use assistive devices and offer strategies to manage pain during activity. Look for a certified senior fitness specialist. It's important to know that not all personal trainers have specific experience working with older adults, as this population has unique needs. Seek out a trainer who holds a specialized certification in senior fitness, for example, from reputable organizations like NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, or ACE, the American Council on Exercise. These specialists are specifically trained to understand age-related physiological changes and how to design appropriate, safe, and truly effective exercise programs for older adults. They can help you select exercises that are suitable for your current fitness level and goals, adjust the intensity and volume of your workouts to ensure consistent progress without overstressing your body, provide motivation and ongoing support to help you stay consistent with your routine, and crucial, supervise and correct your technique during exercises for maximum safety and benefit. Finally, an occupational therapist (OT), while not directly involved in creating your exercise routines, can play a vital role in enhancing your safety and independence in daily life. They can help you adapt your home environment and daily activities to reduce fall risk and boost your overall independence. They can offer practical advice on how to move safely around your house, for instance, suggesting the installation of grab bars in the bathroom, or recommending the removal of loose rugs that are tripping hazards, how to use assistive devices safely and effectively, like canes or walkers, and provide strategies for managing your energy and employing energy conservation techniques to perform daily activities without becoming overly exhausted. With all this comprehensive knowledge, how can you go about building an exercise program that's not only safe for your aging body, but also truly effective and genuinely enjoyable? Variety is key. A comprehensive exercise program for older adults should thoughtfully include 4 main types of exercise to ensure a well-rounded approach to health. Aerobic cardio exercises are essential to boost your heart and lung health, improve your stamina, and enhance your overall endurance. Examples include brisk walking, either outdoors or on a treadmill, swimming, cycling on a stationary bike, or outdoors on flat, safe terrain, dancing, or participating in low-impact group fitness classes like water aerobics. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. You can comfortably break this down into smaller, manageable sessions of 10-15 minutes throughout the day. Strength exercises are vital to maintain and build muscle mass, improve bone density, which helps prevent osteoporosis and provide crucial support for your joints. You can use light weights, resistance bands, or even just your own body weight. Focus on multi-joint exercises which work several muscle groups at once, such as chair squats, sitting and standing from a sturdy chair, shoulder presses, lifting light weights overhead, rows, pulling movements, and wall push-ups, pushing away from a wall. Aim for 2-3 strength training sessions each week, performing 8-12 repetitions for each exercise and doing 2 to 3 sets. Flexibility exercises are important to maintain your joint range of motion and significantly reduce your risk of injury. This includes gentle stretching, slow-paced yoga, or Tai Chi. Aim to perform flexibility exercises daily, or at least 3 to 5 times per week. Hold each gentle stretch for 20-30 seconds, and remember, never stretch to the point of pain. Stretching should feel like a comfortable pull, not a sharp ache. And finally, balance exercises are critically important for fall prevention, which is a major concern as we age. Examples include standing on one leg initially with support from a wall or chair, gradually progressing to unsupported as you become more confident. Tandem walks, walking heel to toe, or Tai Chi, which naturally incorporates many balance-improving movements. Aim to perform balance exercises 2 to 3 times per week. Always start with support, e.g., near a wall or a sturdy chair, and gradually challenge yourself by reducing support as you feel more confident and stable. Progress slowly and steadily. This is a golden rule for all exercise, especially for older adults. Don't try to do too much too soon. Start at a low intensity and gradually increase the intensity, duration, or repetitions as you get stronger and your body adapts. A good rule of thumb is to increase by no more than 10% per week. For example, increase your exercise time by 10%, or the number of repetitions by 10%. This slow and steady progress will significantly reduce your risk of injury and prevent burnout, helping you stay consistent. Always listen carefully to your body. If you feel any pain or become overly fatigued, it's a signal to ease back and give your body time to recover. Focus on mind-body connection through mindful movement. Activities like yoga, Tai Chi, or even mindful walking, where you pay close attention to your body's sensations and your surroundings, not only improve your physical health, but also deeply enhance the connection between your mind and body. This heightened awareness helps you become more attuned to your body's signals, improve your balance, and effectively reduce stress. Tai Chi in particular is highly recommended for older adults because it beautifully combines slow, gentle movements with deep breathing and mental focus, which helps to significantly improve balance coordination and reduce overall stress levels. Set realistic and sustainable goals. Instead of aiming for big, overwhelming, or unrealistic goals right from the start, focus on smaller, achievable goals that are truly meaningful to you and fit into your lifestyle. For instance, I will walk for 20 minutes 3 times a week, or I will be able to stand up from a chair without using my hands by the end of the month. Breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable steps makes them much easier to achieve and helps you maintain your motivation over the long term. Remember to celebrate your small victories along the way. They fuel your progress. Finally, make it enjoyable and social. Your likelihood of sticking with an exercise routine significantly increases if you genuinely enjoy the activity. Try different activities to find what you truly love. Maybe it's dancing, gardening, or a brisk walk in nature. Consider joining group classes, local walking clubs, or senior sports activities. The social element can be a powerful motivator to keep you going, providing companionship and accountability. Connecting with friends or family to exercise together is also a fantastic way to maintain your commitment and transform your fitness routine into a fun and rewarding part of your life. So here we are, having walked through the quiet risks that can hide in even the most common exercises and learned how to mitigate them. This isn't about fostering fear or anxiety. It's about empowering you with awareness, about respecting the natural changes our bodies go through as we age, and about learning how to move with greater care, intelligence, and confidence. Staying active is undeniably one of the best gifts you can give yourself at any age. It doesn't just prolong your life. It profoundly enhances the quality of your life, allowing you to continue enjoying the things you love, maintaining your precious independence, and fostering meaningful connections with those around you. But as we get older, the overall goal shifts beautifully from simply pushing harder to moving much smarter. Every step you take, every breath you draw, every stretch you perform can be a profound celebration of life if done with intention and awareness. You don't need to keep up with younger folks or constantly push past your physical limits. You just need to listen deeply to your body and honor its unique needs and capabilities. Remember, aging is a personal journey for each of us, and there isn't a single one-size-fits-all approach to exercise. The truly important thing is to find what works best, most safely, and most enjoyably for you. I sincerely hope this video has helped you see your daily routines and exercise habits in a new light, with a greater understanding and a renewed sense of purpose. Perhaps you recognize some habits in yourself or in someone dear to you. That newfound awareness is the crucial first step towards safer, stronger movement and a more confident approach to your physical well-being. And if just one simple change you make today keeps you safe, upright, and thriving, that's a win worth everything in the world. So let's keep showing up for ourselves every single day. Let's keep learning, adjusting our practices, and consciously choosing health in every decision we make. Our health truly is our most precious asset, especially as we gracefully step into our golden years. If this video helped you in any way, please drop a comment below. Share your own experiences, ask any questions you might have, or suggest other topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable tips to help you stay strong, healthy, and safe after 60. Until next time, take wonderful care of that amazing body of yours. It has gotten you this far, and it deserves all the extra love, respect, and special attention you can give it. See you in the next video.